Hello everybody, this is Lynn at Cheese and Yogurt Making, and we continue our journey of meeting with cheesemakers from around England. And today I am joined by Greg, who is at Sharpham Dairy in the lovely county of Devon. Good morning, good afternoon, Greg. How are you today?
I'm brilliant, thanks. Yeah, down in South Devon, overlooking the lovely River Dart in a very special place that we feel very privileged to be working in.
Sounds beautiful, a good location. So you got a good view from your window, I'm guessing.
I have. I can see exactly what's going on the river. The ferry will be up in a minute from Dartmouth, and I can see the tide's probably about halfway.
Oh wow, you couldn't ask for any better than that, I would say. Looking at your fantastic website and your social media profile, I can see that you've got a long history there, going back 40 years, somewhat, starting with a brie, I understand. How did it all begin?
Yeah, so on the estate here was bought in the 1970s by the Ash family, Morris and Ruth Ash. They had sort of moved from Essex. They'd previously been involved heavily at Dartington, which is just down the road from here. Morris was chairman there for a while. Real sort of country people, philanthropists, and they had a herd of Jersey cows and a lot of space. The estate here is, well, it's now 550 acres. I believe it was actually bigger at the time. I think there was the milk originally from the cows that were grazed on the estate went off to one of the cooperatives for, at the time, milk price was on quite a bit of a low. And Morris, he was quite an innovative chap, was sort of keen to see if he could add some value to the milk. His favourite cheese was brie, and he sort of was connected with a local lady who knew a thing or two about cheese making. There's a few in this area, and so he sent her off to France and into Normandy and sort of learned how they make things over there. Then came back and they started making the cheese in the kitchen. They then sort of over time spread out as it became more of a sort of, I dare to say commercial, but more as they make more. They then went into the courtyard into a small dairy, and then 20 years ago, then at that point being led by Mark Sharman, who was a nephew of the Ashes, they built the dairy we're in now, which is significantly bigger than was back then, but still we make only about 70 tons of cheese a year. And along the way, Mark formed a limited company, was involved in planting the vineyards here at Sharpham as well, and happily developed that over the years before sort of retiring and stepping back in 2019, which is when we got involved, my family, and we invested in the cheese business only, not the wine. The wine was sold to somebody else, and in fact now the wine business has relocated to the other side of the river, about 2 miles away, where some of the sort of supplying vines were, and who the new owner was one of the biggest suppliers. So it's a lot quieter here than it was sort of this time last year, because we used to get a lot of visitors coming down to see the vines and have a walk around and taste some wine and cheese. So it's a very interesting place with a lovely history. Brie was the first cheese made, very quickly followed by, in fact, Elmhurst was a cheese that was developed quite early by Debbie Mumford, named after the Elmhursts that were sort of quite famed for their work and their ownership of Dartington, which is a triple cream cheese. And then there was quite a lot of sort of synergy collaboration with Robin Conlon, and he sort of started to make blue cheeses with sheep's milk, Beanley Blue, and also have made some cow's milk cheeses. And in fact, the rustic, I think the recipe originally was developed by Robin and his team, but then came into Sharpham Dairy. So whilst they're not sort of the same business, there kind of has been a lot of collaboration over the years. And of course, then Ticklemore goat's cheese started to be made here, which is named after a street down the road where the cheeses were first sold. And over time, it's gradually sort of, and we're still, adding cheeses to the range now. For our 40th year, we launched the Camembert as a 40th sort of year cheese, which took a while to develop, but we're really pleased with. On we go.
You go, onward and upward. So, and I'm right in thinking that is a very impressive history, that you've won some awards along the way as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like everyone. I'm just going to pour myself a nice cup of coffee with some lovely Jersey milk.
Oh,
Came in this morning because we make the cheese with Jersey milk.
really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been in the dairy industry for about 25 years, you know, and you know, the awards are always something that give you a good opportunity to, I suppose, you know, see what else is out there, assess where you are, and you know, versus where you want to be, and you know, put some new stuff out there as well, I suppose. And so yeah, we're like others, you know, each year we get ourselves prepared for, you know, the emotional roller coaster that is. But yeah, this in this last year, we've been really pleased that our Camembert, for example, you know, won a gold in our Taste of the West awards, 2 stars in two Great Taste Awards. Great, yeah, that's right. Yeah, great two-star, great taste, and has done really well. We have a Devon County show, which you know we embarrassingly cleaned up at this year. I mean, there's only sort of 4 or 5 cheesemakers in Devon, and you know some of them. So it was kind of there was a limited amount there, but we did really clean up, which was a bit good fun. But yeah, no, and I think you know it's important really for. I think cheese is one of those, especially artisan cheese, one of those things that people aren't just buying a piece of something to eat. They want to know a bit about the product and how it's been made, and also the provenance behind it. And then also, of course, you know, they want to be able to tell their friends when they're over their cheese board that they're eating an award-winning cheese. You know, so I think it's all part of the narrative that goes around artisan products, especially cheese.
Yeah, no, you've got it in a nutshell there. That's what I'm hearing when speaking to cheesemakers, and exactly the same. And that's what customers want these days. So the all-important cheeses, which you've got a good range of, and like you say, always add into that. Where can people get them? Where can they get their hands on them?
Yeah, well, we supply mainly into independent wholesalers. So we don't supply any of the multiple retailers. You know, we're not big enough to do that, and we wouldn't want to throw all our eggs into those baskets. So independent retailers who then supply into farm shops, good delis, restaurants, mainly in the southwest. But you know, we since the early days, there's been quite a following in London. You know, with some of the guys like Neil Yard, La Fromagerie, Paxton Whitfield, and others, and Bailey and Sage more recently, actually. So that's been a nice market that we've enjoyed developing a bit, especially through COVID, where it's been very difficult. You know, some people have gone quiet and others have come to the fore. And then, you know, when we set up the new website, which was just, in fact, we rushed it to be ready for after we knew COVID was going to have some lockdowns. We've got an online shop, so we sell a bit B2C as well, but that's not a significant part of what we do. We don't want to undermine our main routes to market really, but so mainly in the southwest, but with a growing market in London, mainly through independent wholesale, but with a bit more B2C stuff coming through in time.
Oh, it's wonderful. What you're doing there is very impressive. You've got obviously people can get their hands on it. I know you're local, but like you say, with your connections elsewhere, in the UK, then people can just carry on what they're doing and add into the range. As I say, we'll keep an eye on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the website, social media, and see what's going on. Keep mopping up all those awards as you're going. Know, it's really, really good. I know you're busy, and it's been great to finally catch up with you. Put a face to a name to the company. So that's been great. We will just carry on keeping in touch. Have you got any other questions? Anything you want to add?
Well, no. I mean, I think just I think it's great what you guys are doing. You know, I think importantly going forward, especially where we are all suffering with the increases in the things we make our products with and the energy we use to make them.
Yes.
That we try and mitigate, but it's inevitably going to push the cost of prices up. So I think being able to sort of people the full story, being transparent about what we do. We're a B Corp certified business, which we're the first cheese maker in the UK to be so, which is important to us because we do believe we want to tell everybody what we do, be open about it, and want people to want to choose to do business with us because we kind of I suppose empathetic with everything we do. I think that what you are doing is great, giving people to tell their stories, and especially in the artisan world where let's face it could be challenging times ahead. As you know, I've got to take that call, don't you? So do you want to hold while I do that, or do you want to?
Well, I'm just going to say it's lovely chatting with you today. I'm just going to just put you on hold now and catch up soon.